So this whole marathon Bungie fiasco has been kind of crazy. Obviously, marathon's been going through, it's like putting it lightly mixed, putting it kind of real, mostly negative reception. And with the whole art scenario, with them kind of getting caught ripping anti-real's art, the whole scenario is looking mega super bleak. Not even just marathon, but kind of Bungie, right? And right off the rip, I just want to say this isn't like a thing for me to say like you need to like marathon, or you need to root for marathon, or you even need to root for Bungie, right? But I've been seeing a lot of thoughts and opinions be thrown out that I kind of just wanted to give a little bit of a take on. And so this is kind of just gonna be like a video for like some of my thoughts. I have like some bullet points jotted down, not really scripted, but kind of help me keep things sort of together, right? Marathon, regardless how you feel about it, like it, love it, like it, hate it, indifferent, this is kind of a pivotal moment for Bungie as a whole, right? And in a lot of ways, I feel like marathon got like the short end of the stick, right? More so from a development front. It was in like pre-development / development for probably about 4 to 5-ish years before the whole Christopher Barrett thing happened, and then they brought Joe Ziegler in and pretty much essentially flipped the game on its head from what I'm hearing, what I've gathered, and they've like changed a bunch of stuff, pretty much remaking the game, right? And I think they've been doing that for the past 2 or 3, right? And again, given on who you ask, that's more than enough time, that's not enough time, whatever, right? Most people I've seen from the alpha test and the trailers and stuff like that, and even from what Bungie has been saying, yeah, this game is like super early in like a lot of aspects. Even before the whole art scenario, a lot of the sentiment was like, bro, this game needs to be delayed because it just needs more time to cook, right? I would also say I can agree with that sentiment. Like, obviously, yeah, if they release it, like, I'm gonna play it. That's just where I'm at, right? But also in the same vein, I'm not like tone deaf or blind to what's going on. Like, yeah, if you can give them more time to cook, do that, right? And then this is where we kind of get into that whole like, this is like a bad scenario for everybody, right? Because from what we've seen with, again, with the game being early, with the whole art scenario, right? A lot of the sentiment is like, not a lot, but what I've been seeing a lot of is, bro, they should just cancel the game, get rid of it, right? Scrap it, redo the whole thing. Don't even worry about marathon. Just do a new Destiny game, right? A lot of concepts about just abandoning the like marathon game that we're supposed to get, right? Which, let's keep it a buck, that's not happening, right? Sony, Bungie, they put way too much time and money into the game to kind of just like stop it at the finish line. And then on the other side of that, I've seen on the like whole delay the game scenario is like, well, yeah, you could delay the game, but that's not going to help either, because if you delay it by a year or whatever, it's just going to fall into the GTA like Tsukiyomi that's coming, right? Which is a real scenario, right? Like I guarantee this time next year, it's just like a large runway for that behemoth of a game that we call Grand Theft Auto 6, right? And another kind of like thing that I've seen come up in that like whole delay scenario is like, well, it doesn't look like Bungie / Sony will probably let that happen, right? And at the time of this recording, this is the 21st. We haven't heard anything about like them doing a delay, not doing a delay, or whatever, right? And I think it came out after the like disastrous live stream that they did to like apologize and talk about some of the alpha stuff, that some like industry insiders were like saying that there's not even like hints or jokes of a delay happening. So from what it seems like this game is going to be full steam ahead for the September release date, right? Which they have a shit ton of work to do, right? Outside of all the stuff that like has already been like negatively talked about for the game, all the stuff they feel like Bungie needs to fix for Marathon from the like alpha playtest, and then now scrubbing all of the like art stuff that has happened for Anti-Real, which I really sincerely hope Anti-Real gets like a megalo bag off of this, bro, because yeah, having all your shit ripped and like not getting anything from it, not even like a thank you. I mean, like, yeah, it was stolen, but I'm just saying like nothing. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Which, side note, I've seen some people like kind of defending Bungie for ripping the art. Huh? Let's not do that. What the fuck? What are we doing? Let's not do that. Why are we doing that? I digress, right? Again, it looks like Marathon has a monumentous hill to climb. It's already had a big hill to climb, but now a monumentous hill to climb. And it looks like they're not gonna get any more runway like developed without like public hands on, right? And this is kind of where like my main portion of like my talking point for this video wants to come in at, is because again, I feel like a lot of people, especially like Destiny fans, not only want this game to fail, but want Bungie to fail, right? And this is kind of like a two-pronged discussion, right? So I'm going to stick with the like whole Marathon scenario first, right? Me personally, if you've been on the channel for a little bit or this is your first time seeing me, I like Marathon. I've always thought it looked cool. Yes, I know the game is early. Yes, I know a lot of it is divisive. I know that, right? I've been saying this. And again, I'm not saying you need to like it. I'm not saying you need to want it to succeed, but my whole reasoning for making a lot of Marathon videos was just that like I saw people either get shit on for talking about liking it or not talking about liking it at all. And I just wanted to give a little corner for those people who wanted to do that, right? But again, moving forward, I'm seeing a lot of people say, again, get rid of it, scrap it, just make D3, just focus on D2, right? A lot of people essentially wanting this game to fail. Even though like, yeah, it might come out the gate and fail. It's different. It's different if a game releases and it fails versus like people just like praying on it to fail, right? Totally two different scenarios, right? Because like that whole narrative around it is just like already negative. If the game is like not great, it just won't do well when it comes out, right? We don't need monkey screaming to like burn it down before it even walk out the door. Again, barring all of the like scenarios that we have going on around Marathon specifically, this can go, you can insert any game about that, right? For example, Battlefront 2, that's having like a big resurgence right now. Imagine when that game was first coming out and motherfuckers was like, bro, fuck this game, bro, you should just make Battlefield 3 or like whatever, right? It's like, bro, the game ain't even come out yet and you're already trying to kill it. What the fuck?
If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
Right, it's different after the game came out and motherfuckers seeing that there was some bullshit going on. It's like, whoa. Yes, all the alarm bells go off. Sure, don't play it, whatever, right? You do with your money and your time that you want to do. But I've always not really a fan of just like putting bad juju on games, bro. I just can't stand it, bro. And that kind of leads me to my second point, where it's like, bro, not necessarily saying Bungie needs this game to like be omega successful, but it's like, bro, kind of like if it bombs, it puts everything in that like Bungie umbrella under huge duress. And I saw this in like an Astacross video. Shout out to Astacross. He was talking about like how essentially come September, if like the game releases, then we have like three scenarios, three universes we could be in, right? First scenario, the new Destiny DLC, Fate of the Nine. Is it Fate of the Nine? I always get it confused. Hold on.
A few moments later.
Okay, Edge of Fate, sorry. The first scenario was like, hey, Edge of Fate comes out, it does okay. Marathon comes out, does okay. Bungie still might need to like get their shit together, which we'll talk about in a second, but kind of as like an overall like company platform, whatever, they're like okay, right? They got some breathing room. Scenario 2, Edge of Fate comes out, does okay. Marathon comes out, bombs. It's like, bro, now we have a scenario where we're like, maybe orange flags, maybe not red flags, but orange flags. It's like, bro, Bungie, you're not looking so hot right now. Thin ice type of scenario, you know, maybe even like a possible layoffs like happening again, right? We're gonna talk about it again in a little bit, but again, it's not looking great if Marathon bombs and like all the weight falls back on Destiny 2, Edge of Fate, and Renegades, right? Not looking great. And then scenario 3, where it's essentially Edge of Fate bombs and Marathon bombs, bro. Plug might literally be pulled on Bungie as a whole. You know, I've seen some sentiment again where it's saying like, PlayStation should just dissolve them into Sony anyway or whatever. Let's just say PlayStation. Sony should dissolve Bungie into them regardless. Like, that's probably a scenario where like if Marathon Bombs and the new DLCs like don't do well, right? And again, it's already kind of shaping up to be at the bare minimum probably scenario 2, because I forget where this came from, but I've seen this floating around a lot too, where it was like, I think internally, I don't know if who's setting this, I don't know if it's Sony or Bungie, but internally they were like projecting to call Marathon a success and needed to be like a top 5 selling game of like the year, which anybody with a pair of eyes and half a brain and a bit of comprehension can already tell that's probably not gonna happen, Chief. That's just out of the commission. That's out of commission, right? Yeah, so like bare minimum kind of already, at least from like an internal point of view, we're probably already looking at scenario 2. Scenario 2. Maybe we might get lucky and get scenario 1, right? But again, if Marathon does bad, it puts like everything for Bungie in a worse position to be in, right? And again, say with that as you will, how you feel about Bungie, how you feel about Marathon, how you feel about Destiny, right? I'm kind of aiming this at like people who obviously 1 like Marathon and 2 like Destiny. Talk about Bungie as a whole in a second. If Marathon doesn't do well and universe forbid any of those DLCs for Destiny don't do well, bro, your new overlords might be NetEase, bro. You might be on the phone. Your whole Destiny experience might come from a tablet, bro. I'm just saying, you know, I don't think people want that, you know. I don't think people want that. And the last thing you need is your little brother to be fucking shit up for you, bro. And I'm saying Marathon in regards to Destiny, right? And just as like a quick bridge to like talking about Bungie as a whole, I think Marathon again really got the short end of the stick, because from what we've seen and from what we've heard, essentially the problem that I'm seeing a lot of is like Bungie leadership, Bungie like top brass has always been an issue, right? For years, pre-Marathon, right? Just years, right? And I think Marathon was just kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, whereas like now we have all this shit kind of coming out again, talking about how like it wasn't really great to work there. You've seen a lot of ex-developers, ex-Bungie devs say it wasn't great to work there. The leadership like wasn't great. It's just like a lot of the like up top scenario, right? And it just kind of sucks that took a game that I personally think is pretty cool to like essentially get thrown under the bus for all this shit to come back to light again. Yes, if it was good, and this is kind of where I'm going, if Marathon was a fucking banger, like everything about it was a banger, a lot of this shit would get swept under the rug, because it's kind of been like that for Destiny for a while. Like you'll see in a lot of videos people say, yeah, this has been an issue for a long time. Hardcore Bungie Destiny fans know this has been an issue for a long time, bro. But this is only starting to kind of come back because things haven't been doing well, right? Again, it just kind of blows, bro, because like I would hate for us to necessarily lose out on something that has the potential to be really fucking cool because of like mismanagement and a bunch of like schemy, slimy bullshit, right? I'm all for giving a game some time to like breathe and do its thing, right? I've said it before in videos in the past. Hey, if Marathon comes out and it's going to be rough, which I think it is, hey, I'm cool to give it like a year or 2 to get their shit together, as long as it's still here. That's all I care about, bro. I mean, if it comes out now and we gotta wait a year or 2 for it to get good, hey, as long as it's here and it has the chance, you know, versus like not having that chance. That's all I want, bro. I just want it to exist. I wanted to be here and have the opportunity to be better. That's all I want. And this comes back to like that whole like Bungie scenario discussion, because I mean, again, I'm not like an industry vet, you know, I'm not an insider or anything like that. I'm just a guy that likes to play games, likes to talk about it with my people. That's all I care about, right? Again, this is a scenario where it's like, Bungie, you kind of got to get your shit together. And it's like, how do you really do that? Because this is a problem that plagues a lot of the gaming industry, especially that like AAA space, where it's like, yeah, you know, the grunts, the devs, the people who are kind of just doing their thing day in and day out, a lot of them really do like what they're working on and like are kind of behind the product that they're trying to push, because like, yeah, I'm fucking working on it, right? Ultimately, a lot of these people are creatives. A lot of them like to play games, like to play their game. They're gonna like give ideas out or give out like things or try to put themselves into the creative vision as a whole. And when that's like being shot down by managers or like directors or whatever the fuck, right? Because again, people say leadership top brass. A lot of people kind of point fingers at what the fuck is his name, like Pete Parsons or whatever the fuck, the CEO, whatever. A lot of people point fingers at him, which, yeah, CEO definitely has like some weight to take on that for sure. But then that kind of gets lost in translation, like a level down, 2 levels down, 3 levels down, probably 4, 5, 6, until you get to like Joe Ziegler or what the fuck is his name, like a whatever the fuck. Damn, I sound so uneducated right now. But like until you get to like the game directors who like actually show face and like are the front line to the community outside of like the community managers and stuff, right? And then sometimes you'll have devs get like some backlash or whatever, because like they'll say something on Twitter or whatever and they'll get like used 1,000 times, right? But a lot of times the people who everyone is kind of pointing fingers at still end up being fucking shadow figures in the back, because for what reason, I don't know, right? And I kind of just say all this again to say that I feel like, especially for Destiny fans, again, I'm not saying you need to root for Marathon. I'm not even saying you need to like the fucking game, bro. I'm not even saying you need this game to be a success, right? But what I really am saying is you probably should chill. You definitely should chill on like trying to kill that motherfucker, because that motherfucker could indirectly kill the game that you like to play just as much. And also, again, I'm a Destiny fan. I play the fuck out Destiny. I played every DLC. I've been playing since D1. I played the shit out Destiny. I love that game. And the last thing I want is to lose out on not one thing but 2, bro. What? Like if I lose Marathon, cool, you know, like it's gonna blow ass, but cool. But now I gotta lose Marathon and Destiny because like this bombed and then like this didn't do so well, so now like Sony's just pulling the plug or whatever. Oh my fuck. And again, I know they got some cool shit coming out right now and it looks all grand, but I don't know if motherfuckers really want NetEase to take the reins on that. I don't know, bro. Like I don't know. I don't know, bro. This whole scenario is just buns as fuck, because on the one hand, really on the ground, you got motherfuckers who like the game, want to see it do well, don't like the game but still want to see it do well, and then motherfuckers who just want everything to burn, everything to blow up, want everything to crash, right? And then mixed in that, you got like motherfuckers who have a certain feeling or two about Bungie. I'm not telling you how to feel about that either, because bro, that's a whole can of worms, bro, with like how people feel about Bungie. Again, I'm a Halo guy, so yo, that woo boy, when you start talking about Bungie, bro, you can go in like 30 directions. Where I kind of just land at overall, bro, is, and I think this is a sort of, I'm not gonna say general consensus, but what you see a lot, they just need to get their shit together, bro. That's all I gotta say. I have no control over anything else, but from the outside looking in, hey, they need to get their shit together, because the last thing I'm trying to see is another round of layoffs or the studio closing. Nah, bro, nah. Because that's usually what fucking happens. A lot of, dare I say, innocent devs or whatever get caught in the crossfire, because again, the shadow figures up top are bullshitting. And all the little monkeys and grunts and gups on the bottom get like shit out of a job because of it or something like that, right? Not really a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. So yeah, I could sit here and say a lot more, but again, I kind of just wanted to get some of my thoughts and not necessarily ideas, but just like, you know, thoughts and a little bit of, I would say, hope. But this is just one of those we gotta wait and see only time will tell type of scenarios, right? You can be on all the hopium copium you want, you can be on all the doom and gloom you want, but you really just don't know until shit just start happening, right? We could fucking tomorrow they can come out and be like, hey, we're delaying the game indefinitely. It is what it is. They could also come out tomorrow and say, you know what, we're going full steam ahead, we're releasing, right? They could also come out tomorrow and say, hey, we're delaying the game a year, 2, 3, whatever, 6 months, whatever, right? We just don't know, right? And the more you see me, the more I make videos, the more I make videos like this, that's where I'll always sort of lie at, bro. I am not a motherfucker that's going to try to jump the gun on a decision or something like that because of whatever we're given right now. Because 24 hours from now, the entire narrative could change, bro. Case in point with that whole like Borderlands shit, everybody was hella hyped for that. Whoa, this game's gonna be crazy, this game's gonna be awesome, right? And then now motherfuckers is mad because old boy talked about, hey, well, if you can't pay $80, you gotta make it happen. It's like, so just like that immediately, right? So we just don't know. I'm always gonna be a bro. We gotta wait and see. That's just how I am. Hype, not hype, in the middle. We gotta wait and see, bro. You know, and then we make a play from there. But hey, you let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please try to keep it civil. I'm Mac blasting all dumb shit that's not constructive. You can be a hater, just be a constructive hater. That's all I ask. You know, there's already way too much doom and gloom on the internet. Go take that shit to Twitter or something else, bro. Not here, not over here, bro. Mac blast ODSTs will be dropped on your head. That's all I'm saying. But that's all I got. I hope y'all enjoyed me yapping and ranting a little bit about this whole kind of marathon Bungie debacle. If you want more of your boy, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well, and I catch all y'all in the next one.